And we are back at the 2023 World Jiu-Jitsu Championships. We've got the super heavyweight final coming up. Gabriele Pessanha taking on Mayara Custodio. Gabriele has been absolutely dominant in this super heavyweight division and also in the open class. Go ahead, Kendall.
As we know, she is the only athlete ever to accomplish the double grand slam at the black belt level 2 times, a feat that's never been done before, seemingly unbeatable here in the World Championships, looking to add another title to the list. Now it's worth mentioning though that if you guys did not see the match last Worlds between these two, Mayara Custodio actually passed the guard of Gabi Pessanha,
yes,
which is important to note because I don't even know the last time I saw Gabi Pessanha's guard get passed, right?
Yeah, I don't see her get put in really any danger whatsoever. To see her get her guard passed and get those 3 points on the board is a huge feat and just shows the level of Mayara's guard passing.
It does. And what I was talking to Mayara about yesterday is she was saying that she feels that when that happened last year, she didn't quite feel the maturity of her game was prepared to pass Gabi's guard. So when she did, she was actually surprised, and it was hard for her to continue the match, to be very focused. She got excited about the guard pass. She couldn't believe she was there. So now she's been really working on staying calm, staying focused in those positions, and feeling like she is a much more mature player and one that can actually come in and beat Gabi Pessanha this time around.
These two have met 4 times prior to this match. Gabriele did get the win in all of them. Most recently in the final, the 2023 Pans, where Gabriele got an ankle lock submission. But like you said, Mayara is one of the few athletes that's put Gabriele in any sort of danger.
Seeing an advantage there go on the board for that choke attempt. Gabi consistently uses a very strong closed guard with that high collar grip. We see this from her quite a bit. And I would say especially with competitors whose guard passing she respects, she opts for this closed guard rather than an open 50-50 style, which we know she's very talented in. She'll end up in this closed guard and she'll do lots of big cross collar chokes like we're seeing here. She'll rack up quite a few advantages. She'll pass the lapel across the back and keep the opponent broken down with her posture as well. So typically she racks up a lot of advantages here before she opens up her game. She's one of the most strategic fighters that we see. Her brother is an IBJJF referee who's consistently here reffing with us, and she knows the rules better than anybody else, and she always makes sure that her game's on point to suit the IBJJF rule set.
Gabriele had just 1 match at super heavy leading into this final, where she did get a straight ankle lock submission over 2023 European champion Amanda Magda. Gabriele is also in the open class final that we're going to see later on today. She'll be taking on Anna Vieira.
It'll be a nice rematch to watch later, Danny. I'm excited about that. But before we get into that, obviously she is looking to add 2 gold medals today, but she's first got to do this one. And we saw some big off-balancing there for a second. She was able to use her legs to elevate Mayara up and try to get underneath, and she wasn't able quite to score from it yet, but she did knock Mayara down into more of this double-seated position, which opens up that game that we were talking about earlier. She has very strong leg lock attempts, leg lock attacks. She has very dangerous 50-50 positions she uses to take the back, and she's very comfortable with open and closed guard.
Very well-rounded game, and another very interesting and extremely impressive statistic from Gabriele Pessanha. If she were to win the super heavy division and the open class, it would be her 9th straight double gold at a major tournament, which is kind of absurd to even say that.
It is absurd. And as you say that, she is definitely looking to rack that up. She locks on an omoplata here. Now, Mayara doing a great job of trying to keep her head up and posture, but she's got to watch for the transition to, a potential triangle or an armbar. Out of danger so far from those submissions, but again, we see this dominant choking control from Gabi, which, even if she doesn't get an advantage, it causes Mayara to defend herself in ways that do 2 things. One, it keeps Mayara on the back foot. So Mayara's hasn't been able to get in the driver's seat of trying to attack any passing just yet. But 2, it also adds to the mental battle of things where it's very frustrating, can feel like you're drowning when you're inside a closed guard like that, right? And you're not able to get any movement. But now we see Mayara opting to stand up and stay instead of on her kneeling passing, which is what we were seeing before. As we know, when she stands up, she has more options for movement, but she's also in danger to a lot of Gabriele's open guards.
That's a great point, because Gabriele has great open guard attacks, also has an amazing closed guard. It's kind of like pick your poison sometimes with Gabriele.
Absolutely. So one thing that big look at a sweep there, but we saw, Mayara doing like a backwards bridge. But what's interesting about that sweep is Gabi is underneath the leg and gripping on the inside of her own pant leg to get extra leverage onto Mayara's right leg, which allows her to switch into an X-guard type sweep. She has her sleeve underneath the leg, if you notice, Danny, which makes it very difficult for Mayara to even turn to defend because her arm is through her own legs. Gabi still has that grip and uses that sweep to come up into an advantageous position due to that strong grip and is already now re-attacking.
What a great transition to this back attack as well. Use that sweep to transition to this potential back attack position. Amazing work from Gabriele Pessanha. She is leading 2-0 right now. 4.5 minutes left in the super heavyweight final at the 2023 World Jiu-Jitsu Championships. Gabriele in the driver's seat.
Great insertion of that hook on the right side. Gabi is so great at bringing the hook in without getting too overextended up high on the back. She keeps her hips nice and low, and you see she continues to bridge into Mayara, slowly but surely breaking down her hips, bringing the second hook in, and she's able to flatten her all the way to the ground to put 4 points on the board. Now searching for a rear naked choke. She has a bit of a face crank here. It could be enough to get the finish.
Gabriele Pessanha wins her 3rd world title in the super heavyweight division. She'll go for another one later in the open class. 5th world title in total.
5th world title as a fairly new black belt, Danny. It's really an incredible feat. She's undefeated here at the Black Belt World Championships. It's incredible to see. She will go for number 6 later today.
Two fights at super heavyweight, 2 submissions. Gabriele Pessanha cannot be stopped at this point. We will see if Ana Vieira can do something to change that in the open class final later on today.
Gabi Pessanha coming in
and your 2023 female super heavyweight
America by a storm, adding more world titles to her resume every single year.
Gabriele Pessanha, 3-time super heavyweight world champion, 2-time open class champion. She'll go for her 3rd open class title against Ana Vieira.
Congratulations to Mayara Custodio as well, an incredible tournament, making it to the world finals, claiming a silver medal. She's had an incredible showing as an athlete in this last year. Here's some highlights from this match, Danny. Talk us through this choke. What were you thinking about this collar choke early on?
Beautiful loop choke attempt from Gabriele, gets the advantage for that. Then she starts using some of these open guard attacks that you were talking about. Uses this omoplata to transition. Under the leg, comes up, gets the sweep, eventually gets the back position, scoring 4 more points. Very similar position we saw Fionn take on Janaína Lebre earlier today. And she gets the finish. 100% submission rate here at super heavy at the 2023 Worlds.
Big rear naked choke across the face a little bit there to finish up, and the pressure of Gabriele Pessanha, especially as she turned the corner there at the very end of that choke, is something that nobody wants to find themselves underneath. Yes. I've seen her finish that choke multiple times, and it has earned her another world title here today.
In 2nd place, representing Czech mat, Mayara Custodio.
Great performance from Mayara Custodio. She's 2nd place here at the 2023 Worlds in the super heavy division.
She's really changed things as an athlete lately. She lost 10 kilos, working towards her strength and conditioning, really getting on point for the Worlds. It was almost enough to do it. She made it to the finals, but of course it was Gabi Pessanha coming out on top once again here.
2-time double Grand Slam champion. 5th gold medal here at the World Championships. Gabriele Pessanha is simply on fire. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with more finals here from the 2023 World Jiu-Jitsu Championships.